that I've gone through like a massive weight loss journey where I was like a size 18. I went down to a size 10. Little did I know that age was gonna come and say, hey, watch this. I found that it was a lot harder to maintain that weight loss that I attained, maybe even started to gain a little. And I think sometimes when, you know, our bodies go through changes as women, so age, hormones, pregnancy, life stresses, we mourn the loss, how our bodies used to be. It did also coincide with when I, you know, started taking the D, okay? And how it makes your bum grow bigger and Hi guys, welcome back to the Mo Junction. Welcome to another installment of Chit Chat with Mo, where we have controversial debates, honest conversation, incredible guest stories, and so much more. I'm in a really fantastic mood today because the sun is shining. The sun is in the sky. As you can see from the title of the video, we're about to talk about something that's quite personal to me. I kind of mentioned it previously on my personal channel when I was having like a little catch up with you guys. And I said I was going to do a podcast episode where I was going to go into it a little bit more. And basically it's all about the post-25 body. I am 26 currently, and you know, I noticed some changes happening in my body when I turned 25 that I was not anticipating. On like the socials, you know, we have conversations, women like to share different things. I do remember like before I turned 25, there was like women saying that, oh, you know, something happens to your body after 25, and I was like, oh, that won't happen to me. If you guys are familiar with my journey, you would know that I've gone through like a massive weight loss journey where I was like a size 18 and now I am a size 10. Well, at the time, I went down to a size 10, but now post 25, I would say that I'm a 10, 12, like I float in between, depending on how my body is feeling. And those of you who know what I'm talking about when I say that. So I'm now like a 10, 12, went down to a size 10 from a size 18, which was a really, really huge achievement for myself. I'm someone who my weight has gone down, up and down my entire life. But I think I finally got to a place of like self-love and health after university. I finally was able to take control of my life. There weren't many variables preventing me from maintaining my weight anymore. I would say there's different factors as to why sometimes we gain weight or we struggle with our weight. And I think sometimes it's just life stresses, but at last, you know, that scripture was like, David's like, I had peace on every side, something like that. I'm just paraphrasing. After university, I finally had peace and was able to look after myself and my health. And, you know, from a place of self-love, I decided I wanted to lose weight, and it was a very successful journey. And I say all that to say, I was definitely bamboozled by what happens after 25, especially as I'd reached a place of health and fitness. Like I, you know, had a new understanding of food. I had a new love for food because I finally fixed my relationship with food. It wasn't like I was restricting myself. Yes, at some points I may have done the whole cauliflower rice, and that was really, really helpful and pivotal to my weight loss journey. But generally, when I got onto the side of maintaining my weight loss, new relationship with food, understanding that, you know, the Nigerian diet is not unhealthy as you know, usually it's demonized to be. I'm Nigerian, if you haven't cracked on already. But yeah, I'm Nigerian, and you know, what I've heard throughout my life as well is that some of us gain weight because the Nigerian diet is unhealthy. But you know, I came to realize that actually sometimes it's not really that the diet itself is unhealthy. Sometimes how we cook, sometimes our portion control. So relearning food was a pivotal thing for me, and feeling like I'd finally got my weight under control post-university, and I was, you know, having a great time maintaining my new weight. I wouldn't say it was hard because for me it wasn't a fad diet, it was a complete health and lifestyle change, which I really loved and wanted to maintain. Little did I know that age was going to come and say, hey, watch this. Watch this. Something happened in my body when I turned 25, and I said, wow, so those girls on Twitter were telling the truth that your body really does change and there's sometimes nothing you can do about it. Your hormones do not give a heck about you, about your fitness journey, about your life story, the story I just told you, my sub story about, weight going up and down. It doesn't give a heck. It's going to do what it's going to do. So I think for me, nothing happened like straight away when I turned 25. It was more like 25 and a half or close to 26. I did notice that I started to hold a bit more weight, like around my belly, even though I was still eating as healthy. I was still moving around as much as I did. So like nothing really changed about my diet and lifestyle, but I found that it was a lot harder to maintain that weight loss that I attained, maybe even started to gain a little. And then I had to kind of re-examine, okay, what am I putting in my body? Am I moving enough? And when I realized that actually, no, this is actually beyond your control, Mo, I think I definitely reached a place of surrender where I was like, okay, Mo, I can't come and kill myself. If I was going to the gym 4 times a week already, just because my body is fighting me, doesn't mean I need to start going to the gym 7 times a week just to kind of maintain the weight loss or whatever image of my body I had in my head. I'm a researcher. I like to read around things, and that's what helped me lose the weight in the first place. I started to research, this whole post-25 things and women and their hormones and what kind of changes, what causes the body to kind of resist diet and exercise a bit more or hold on to fat a bit more. And I found out that apparently, allegedly, when you reach a certain age, your body starts to hold on to fat a lot more because it's trying to prepare you for pregnancy, basically. The body is very interesting, the human body, how it protects us, how it defends us, many defense mechanisms that we can't even see. There's so much biochemistry going on the inside of us. And I am a scientist, guys, in case you wonder why I find all this lingo quite interesting. There's a lot that goes on, in our biochemistry. One of those that we tend to see more, the fat holding. And apparently that's so that, if ever you were to get pregnant and for some reason you weren't able to access food for a week or 2, it's just your body preparing you for any madness that could happen, you would be able to feed yourself and your child. And I was like, so all this is because of, or could be potentially because of an unborn child, so that my body can look after myself and the baby in case of I don't have access to food. I found that really, really interesting and quite beautiful, actually. So if you're reaching post-25, post-26, and you're noticing that your body is starting to hold on to fat a lot more, know that that could be one of the reasons. Another one of those reasons is that your metabolism slows down. Everyone knows this one, but they don't know when it's quite going to hit them. Your metabolism slows down. Again, I'm not sure of the layers of the science behind that. Maybe it could be again with the whole pregnancy thing. Metabolism slows down, and perhaps that could be it as well. So I'm sure there's many other reasons. Hormonal changes, imbalances in some women post 25, and that's why a lot of fitness people, I've noticed online, a lot of fitness gurus are coming to now admit that the way men and women look after their health in terms of their weight, it differs. A woman's body reacts very differently to high stress exercise, for example, depending on what their hormones are saying. So for example, people with PCOS, there's some research that shows that doing high stress cardio or doing high intensity weightlifting actually stresses their body out even more, so they release cortisol even more, and that makes them hold on to the fat more. Whereas if they work out and they do something low intensity that's a bit longer, they're more likely to see weight changes. And also, depending on when you're working out in your menstrual cycle, we already know there's only if you're a woman, there's only 1 week in the month where you feel normal, like a normal person, because it's either you're on your period or you're ovulating, or you've just come out of your period and everything's just kind of getting back to normal. So really and truly, depending on how long your cycle is, you have 3 to 7 days in the month where you feel like everything is quote unquote balanced, if that makes sense. So in that sense, because of that alone, even without the hormonal imbalances that come with conditions such as PCOS, we can't work out the same way guys do and expect the same results. And I know I'm focusing on weight a lot because that's the premise of this video in terms of post-25. Exercise isn't just for weight loss, but I did notice that weight gain, which is why we're focusing on weight in this video. I say that to say that a man and a woman can't work out the same and expect the same results in terms of weight loss and weight loss maintenance, especially post-25, just because of those hormones that are, changing and ever changing. Already you're kind of fighting against nature is what I would describe it as. And now let's go back to the moment of surrender. When I realized it's not what I'm doing, like I'm still being very, very healthy. It's just the age that I've gotten to. It's just the different soups of hormones that's going on in my body. And all I can do is, number one, love this new body. And I think sometimes when, our bodies go through changes as women, so age, hormones, pregnancy, life stresses, various different things, what we do is that we mourn the loss, or we mourn how our bodies used to be. We look back at all those throwback pictures from when we were 11, even though I don't know why we compare that, because we hadn't even gone through puberty back then. We mourn, I believe I did, mourn, okay, that stage where I got to when I lost all the weight and I was very, very slim. We mourn that image of ourselves instead of accepting where we are and just loving this new body. Like I remember, my sister was saying to me, I think your grown woman body has come through. And I also wondered as well, I forgot to mention this, I did wonder whether it's because I've become sexually active. I don't know whether I can say that on YouTube. YouTube might just mute me at this point. It did also coincide with when I, started taking the D, okay? But yeah, I don't know whether it was that as well. Maybe when you do, I've heard those little jokes about, and how it makes your bum grow bigger. And I remember my sister looking at me like, I think it was 3 months or so into my marriage, and she was like, I think your hips are coming out a bit more, So I don't know whether women, on the internet have experienced that, because there's all these jokes about sometimes your mom can tell. Obviously, when you're married, everyone knows you're having sex now, which is quite embarrassing. But if you're a teenager or whatever, a lot of people say that their parents knew that they had a different glow about them, or their body changed or whatever. So that could be another factor as to why, what we call the post-25 body, or the grown woman body, as my sister described it, comes through. Like you get to see, how thick it really gets. But yeah, coming to a place of acceptance and it's like, okay, this is my body now. I'm going to love it and I'm going to nurture it and I'm going to look after it. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to still continue working out and eating healthy, not necessarily with the goal of weight loss, but just general optimal health and well-being, and just accepting where I'm at. And I guess part of the surrender as well came from attempting certain things and them not working. So for example, going on like restrictive diets, doing cleanses. And I now realize why the fitness industry is so like lucrative, especially when it targets women. It's all these insecurities about, oh my gosh, my body's changing. I really want to get back my teenage look, or I really want to get back the body I had 2 years ago. And it's that desperation, especially when you're not like loving who you are right now. It's that desperation to get that back, so they feed off of those insecurities. So all these fad diets and stuff that you see, I see why a lot of women go on them. It's because they're trying to get back who they were. And for me, I think surrender and acceptance also came when I realized those things don't really work. If you want to see real change, even if you do want to see change in your body or real health benefits, it needs to be for the long run in terms of general health, fitness, making it a lifestyle as opposed to losing weight for this event. Oh, I've got this, I want no. There's a side of acceptance, but there's also the side of taking control of your health as well. When you get older, you might experience not just weight gain, but also you might be more fatigued a lot. I believe sometimes hormonal imbalances, but also things like your vitamins that you need in your body to kind of survive as a human being. Sometimes those things become deficient as you get older. Of course, we think that happens more in later life, like when you turn 60. Some people might have arthritis, they're walking a bit slower, but actually from your 20s is where you really need to start looking after yourself so that your 50s and your 60s are not so painful. So like I said, carry on working out, carry on eating healthy, but also something I've adopted recently, I'm very intentional about, my vitamins. I take my iron tablets. I've always been a tired bee. I've always been anemic. But taking my vitamins, my vitamin D, my vitamin C, I take chia seeds a lot more with my cereals and things like that because that gives me a lot of energy. I'm very intentional about continuing to eat like a lot of fruit and veg. If you're post 25, you're still saying ew to vegetables. I just hope that God will deliver you, because you really need to look after your body. And this is not me saying you have to lose weight. It's just optimal health and well-being. And also, just to kind of round up, I wanted to give some advice to, young girls who might be coming up to 25 or have reached 25, and you're noticing those changes. Maybe it didn't happen for you until you were like 30. Maybe life just happened. It may not even be an age thing. And you saw the certain changes in your body. Whatever you choose to do, just approach it from a place of self-love. When I lost weight, that massive change from size 18 to 10, I think what motivated me was self-love. I loved myself as size 18. Even there's times where people will comment on my YouTube and try and mock me about my weight. It didn't occur to me that it was an issue, that I was bigger. So it never got to me. Of course, I know that's easier said than done. But always try to operate from a place of self-love. Wherever you may be at, you may not be on a health and fitness journey, but just carry on loving yourself. Trust me, it makes a difference. How you approach and see yourself when it comes from a place of self-love and acceptance versus when you don't. So my question to you guys is, have you experienced any changes in your body post 25, post any major life incidences or instances? What has been your reactions to that? Has it been acceptance, or have you tried to make some drastic changes to get back to who you were? What advice would you give to your younger self or to anybody going through similar changes in their body? Comment below on those things. And that's all I really have for you guys today in terms of Chit Chat with Mo. Do make sure you like it if you liked it, share it with your friends. Comment below on the things I spoke about, and subscribe to this channel for more. Until next time, guys, peace and love. Peace and chunks.